welcome back to my channel. I am GlamPreezy. If you are new here, I make videos about healing fibroids naturally, and more specifically on how I've shrank and managed my fibroids naturally and the things that I have learned along the way. Today we are going to be talking about the top 5 foods you should avoid when you have fibroids. Consuming these foods can make a huge difference in your healing journey, and I'm going to talk all about how these foods can worsen your fibroids and fibroid symptoms. And make sure you stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to be sharing helpful tips on how to avoid them and alternatives to use instead. So if you want to learn more about this topic, you know what to do. Keep watching. Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. As I said, I am GlamPreezy. If you are new here, hey girl, hey. And to my returning subbies, thank you guys so very much for returning for another video. If you can believe it, we are almost about to hit 2 years since I've been on this journey. Girl, y'all been rocking with me for a long time, and you know that I love and appreciate all of the support on all of my videos, the shares, the likes, the comments. This has been such an amazing journey. So today I really want to get into an important topic, and yes, as you can see by the intro, the thumbnail, and the title, today we're going to be talking about the top 5 foods that you should be avoiding when you have fibroids. Now, disclaimer, we know I am not a medical professional. However, I have been on this natural fibroid healing journey and have had great success. Naturally, these foods are really important for me to mention because these are things that I have noticed on this journey that have held back my progress tremendously when I consume them, okay? And I know that everybody has a different method on their journey, but I have really found success in avoiding these foods. It can be very confusing and frustrating when trying to navigate fibroid healing, especially when it comes to diet, as a lot of doctors do not speak to diet. Well, a lot of doctors don't speak to diet anyway, but they most certainly are not speaking to diet when it comes to what we should be eating and avoiding. So I thought that I would get into some things that have really held my progress back on this journey and I've learned to avoid. And you know that I don't gatekeep anything from you all, so come on in. We got some things to discuss. Okay, so now that we are up close and personal, girl, you know I got a beverage. Today I am actually drinking Maca and Ashwagandha tea. Very nice, actually. It's very herbal and earthy tasting. And actually, a quick fact, I do not use honey or any sweeteners in my tea almost ever. I like to drink my tea straight up, honey. Okay, so first things first, before I get started on this topic real quick, I'm going to need you to subscribe, okay? If you have not already hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. Thank you so much for joining the fam. Make sure that you go down and turn on your post notifications, okay? If you have been watching my channel for any length of time, then you have learned a lot through my research topic videos, okay? And it is no secret at this point that diet and fibroids are like this. Not to mention that fibroids and hormones are very much intertwined with gut health, okay? I already have a video on gut health. Go on over and take a look at it if you want to learn more about that topic. One of the things that I feel that could have saved me so much time, heartache, pain, money, etc., that I wish that my doctor had mentioned in the beginning of this journey is that my diet had direct impact on my fibroids. Not only my fibroid growth, but also my fibroid symptoms. And unfortunately, in my ignorance at that time, I didn't know what to avoid. So let's start the top of this list at number 1, and that is conventionally raised meats with hormones, steroids, etc. This is a major point of contention in the hormone wellness space. Many health gurus out there and hormone health girlies talk about how they have gone on a vegan or vegetarian diet to manage their hormones, fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, etc. Because this is a safe space and we do not food shame and we do not tell people what to do with their bodies over here around these parts, okay? To me, I think it's 100% up to you and what you want to do with your body. But me, as I've explained in other videos about what I've been eating and my diet, I was vegan for a while and it made me very ill. It was not good for my body type, my blood type, and what my body needs, okay? Especially when I was very, very severely anemic due to my fibroids. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I do want to mention that there is something called heme and non-heme iron. I needed the type of iron that you can only get from meat, okay? I had to make some pretty major alterations to my diet in regards to meat and really buckle down and focus on some of the things that I'm about to bring up. Why you should avoid these things if it's not already obvious. Nobody needs to be eating meat that has hormones, antibiotics, and steroids, etc., okay? But let's just quickly talk about it. Meats that are treated with synthetic ingredients, hormones, antibiotics, steroids, etc., in my experience, incredibly triggered the growth of my fibroids. There is data out there that says that these types of meats are major hormone disruptors, and as we know, estrogen is a major factor in fibroid growth, and eating meat that has added hormones kind of isn't the thing. And moreover, in addition to contributing to hormone imbalance, these types of meats have been known to cause inflammation in the gut and in the body. And this is something that we know causes fibroid growth, right? So we definitely want to avoid that. So my tips on meat. I personally do still eat red meat. I still eat pork. I eat lamb. I eat chicken. I eat turkey. I eat seafood, okay? I eat. But the things that I learned that you need to look out for when we are talking about your red meats, we're looking for grass-fed, steroid-free, pasture-raised, locally raised if you live in a place that has access to that. Poultry, antibiotic-free, pasture-raised, hormone-free, non-GMO. These are labels that you want to look for on your meats. And if you want to take it a step further, you may even want to look for meats that are halal certified. That has been one of the greatest tips that you all have given to me along this journey. One of my subscribers mentioned this about a year ago and it was game changing. If you are in a major city, chances are you have a halal butcher or store that has halal certified meats. Try to look for that. It will make your life a lot easier. When it comes to seafood, and this is really rough, and a lot of the girlies complain down in my comments when I do these food videos, especially with salmon. Unfortunately, farmed fish is not what you need to be eating. It's not what's up, it's not tea, it's not that girl. We are going to avoid farm-raised seafood of all sorts. We are looking for wild caught. It is really disgusting and disturbing how some of these farm-raised fish and other seafood is raised and farmed. I'm not going to get into that. You can do some research on your own. There are some documentaries on Netflix, as a matter of fact, that talk about this topic at length, but it's really, really disturbing. So when you can, please look for wild caught. And I mentioned salmon because a lot of the Atlantic salmon, the thicker salmon that we're used to eating, is farm raised. It's usually the sockeye salmon or the thinner fillets that you'll find that are wild caught. If y'all have found some salmon, thick salmon fillets that are wild caught, please put it down in the comments below. I've been looking for a really long time and it's rare to come by. This is really good. I'm gonna link this down below for y'all. I thought I might mention really quickly as well, if you are new here and you haven't watched my diet video, please go over and take a look at that video. I do talk in depth about specific things that I have been eating on my journey there. Number 2, wow, this should not be a surprise for anyone, but dairy girls. Let's get into this. There are 2 reasons why I personally avoid dairy. I'm lactose intolerant and dairy causes inflammation in my body. I've never been able to drink a glass of milk in my life. It would destroy me. And the second reason why I avoid dairy especially is because a lot of dairy has hormones in it. And so it's kind of a twofold problem, okay? Because I do have girls that ask me, what about grass-fed this or that? Yes, okay, but for me, it's still dairy, regardless if it has not been treated with the added hormones or not. It still causes inflammation in my body. So you may want to do yourself an allergy test and see if dairy in fact is causing you an allergic reaction and inflammation, okay? So why should you avoid dairy? I just mentioned two major reasons why I avoid dairy. A lot of the dairy in the US is processed using hormones such as RBGH. Be patient with me sounding this out. That is recombinant bovine growth hormone. Whoa, that does not sound like something I want to eat. And this has been shown to raise estrogen levels in the body. That is, woo, that is disgusting. I'm sorry. And obviously, as I mentioned before, fibroids feed off of estrogen. They are actually an estrogen dependent condition. If you have fibroids, this is obviously something that you want to avoid because this could be very well contributing to your fibroid growth. And it can also worsen your symptoms. And so my tips when it comes to dairy, for me, this has been like a lifelong thing that I've been avoiding. So it hasn't been that difficult switching to alternatives. When it comes to milk itself, try some plant-based milks, okay? My favorite is almond milk. There is also oat milk. It's controversial, but I still use oat milk every now and then. I just make sure that my plant-based milks do not have a bunch of random ingredients. I like to look for 2 or 3 ingredient plant milks, okay? So that is water, sea salt, and almonds, for example, or water, sea salt, and oat. There's also hemp milk, there's cashew milk, there is banana milk, but my go-to is almond milk. I will leave a little list down below in the description bar for you girls for specific products because I know y'all gonna ask me, okay? And it is worth mentioning that I do bake and cook with those, and I haven't missed milk yet. Cooking, instead of using butter, I do use plant butter. I've also found that using avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, or other high oleic profile oils have been an amazing addition to my cooking. Yogurt, I still eat yogurt. I'm still looking for my favorite. However, I've recently been eating Coco June. I don't know if anybody has heard of that brand, but that one is a milk alternative yogurt. I love coconut-based yogurts. I love almond milk-based yogurts, cashew milk-based yogurts. They still will have your probiotics in there and they taste pretty yummy. The problem is just finding one with the consistency that you like. Okay, so number 3, refined wheat and gluten. So anything that contains processed or refined wheat, like white bread, pasta, pastries, things of that nature are a no-go for me. So why avoid it? Because refined wheat and gluten cause me major inflammation. It can also contribute to insulin resistance. I've already done a video about insulin resistance and fibroids. If you have not watched that video, here it is for you. Please check it out after you finish watching this video. It's really, really eye-opening. So these things that I mentioned, as repetitive as it is, contribute to hormone imbalance and inflammation. Inflammation is a major factor in the growth of fibroids. We need to avoid things that cause inflammation. This is something that you are going to have to be more conscious about if you really want to take your healing journey to the next level. My tips for avoiding processed wheat or refined wheat and gluten: try gluten-free. And just like dairy, this has been a lifelong thing for me, guys. It has always contributed to my inflammation. It was a trigger for my eczema as a kid and still is, and now is a trigger for my fibroids. So for me, I've been on this journey for quite a long time, and I remember when gluten-free first started, everything was disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was tragic, girl. The bread, ugh. It was really bad. But now here in 2024, we have so many gluten-free options that are not bad at all. And in fact, one of my subscribers put me on to making my own gluten-free bread. I've done that once or twice. It was not bad at all, but I'm not a baker and I ain't got the time, okay? So I do actually eat Ezekiel bread. It does have wheat in it, but it's non-processed, and it is made of sprouted grains instead of processed grains. There's a huge difference there. And eating that bread has changed my diet for the better. It really, really has, you guys. Not only is it high in fiber, it has protein in it, and it just, that's what I eat. That's what I use. I found major success while eating that bread, and I stand, okay? Other alternatives. Of course, you can eat rice. Avoid white rice at all costs, okay? Look for wild rice. That's the best option if you're going to eat rice. If you are new here, I also do not eat rice. For some reason, my body just does not process rice very well. It just doesn't keep things moving, if you know what I mean. So I try to avoid rice. Instead of eating rice, I love quinoa. Quinoa is not a grain. It's actually a seed, and I use the multicolored quinoa or even the white quinoa. Either way, it's not a grain, so it's okay to use the white quinoa. It is super, super quick. You can make it very flavorfully. I have plenty of recipes that I've made subbing quinoa for rice. If you are new here and you didn't know this, I do have a 5-day meal plan that will be linked in the description bar below. Shameless plug, my meal plan is 5 days of meals, breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. It is 20 full recipes for you guys and gives you a great idea of what types of things that I have been eating to shrink and manage my fibroids, okay? You can also use code GlamPreezy to save some money off of your meal plan. It is a downloadable PDF. Please go down to the description bar below and check it out. It is on hotgirlhealthjourney.com. For those of you who are interested but don't want to commit to that, I do have a free 1-day meal plan on my website as well, and that one includes a full recipe for my signature chicken and rice, but is made with quinoa instead of rice. It is delicious. So go ahead and check that out. The girls are loving it. Wow, number 4. We are almost done with this list, girl. So number 4 is refined sugar and carbohydrates. Eating processed sugar and sugar as a whole triggers my fibroid growth like something I've never seen. Okay, so examples of refined sugar and carbohydrates. Any processed sugar for sure. Cereals, candies, cookies, pastries, soda, a lot of juice that is not real juice. I guess that white bread really goes in this category as well, but we're not going to do that because we already talked about it. I never really ate too much. However, when I did eat, my fibroids almost seemed like they grew overnight. My diet has been low in sugar ever since, child. So why avoid it? Obviously for the reasons that I just mentioned, but something that you might want to look into is sugar causes insulin spikes, okay? And this can contribute to insulin resistance if your diet is heavy in these types of things. Insulin resistance contributes to hormonal discord and hormonal imbalance, okay? Which is something that we want to avoid. As well as sugar can contribute to a higher BMI. And as we know from our research, the higher the BMI, the more hormone-related complications you are bound to have. Not only that, but the key word that we've been talking about throughout this video, refined sugars have been known to cause inflammation. So that again is something we want to avoid at all costs. In the past, I had done very sugar restrictive diets that have not been very well balanced. I currently am paleo, so that is a fairly low in sugar type diet. The sugar that I do get from my diet comes from natural fruits and vegetables, which my diet is full of nowadays and my body is loving. Every now and then when I do need to sweeten something, I use organic, raw, local honey. And I've also added some organic blue agave syrup every now and then when I want to use something that's a little bit looser than honey. So my tips on refined sugar and carbohydrates, you could try some of the things that I just mentioned, the raw local honey, the organic agave syrup. You can also try organic maple syrup, and or you could use stevia or monk fruit. Those are some options that are out there that have a lower glycemic index than, say, honey. But overall, I have been quite sugar-free for a while, and I think that that has made a major difference in my health as a whole, and it has very much helped me to manage my blood sugar, which, as I mentioned, is very, very important. Wow, you guys, we are already at number 5. And last but certainly not least, we must mention alcohol. In one of my very first videos about how I shrank my fibroids, I talked about alcohol consumption and how it has contributed to my fibroid growth. It can be one of the biggest triggers for fibroid growth, not only because it affects liver detoxification and liver functioning. You guessed it, it causes inflammation. So I guess with that being said, we really don't need to go further into why you should avoid it. But my tips on this topic as a lover of champagne, wine, and the tequila. You know I'm always honest with y'all. If you're new here, girl, get ready for the transparency, okay? I'm not an alkie, but you know, when I go out with my girls and we hang out, it was just like, you know, you wanna vibe a little bit. However, my biggest tip is to cut back by half. Obviously, you should avoid it completely, but I do very much understand when you need to taper off of something. But this is your health, so we do want to take this serious. So instead of going out and having 4 drinks, I'm having 2. And then once I got used to that, instead of going out and having 2 drinks, I'm having 1. And after that, instead of going out and having 1 drink, I'm drinking mocktails. I don't even know how that happened. Every now and then I will indulge if it is a special occasion, it's a birthday or whatever, you know the things. But I try very much to err on the side of a mocktail. They have non-alcoholic spirits now, which is amazing, and they actually taste so good. You don't even know that the alcohol is not there. They also have non-alcoholic champagnes and wine now, and they taste really, really good. So if you are going to be hosting some holiday dinners coming up, I really highly recommend you go to one of your larger liquor stores, maybe Total Wines if you have it near you, or Benny's, or here we have Specs, and ask them about their non-alcoholic spirits. You can also buy these online as well, and they are a great alternative to your typical cocktails and wines. Another thing that I've been loving lately is the nighttime cocktails. You can make yourself one with the cherry juice, magnesium, and a little bit of sparkling water. That one is really yummy. There are so many other alternatives to alcohol. I know that if you are younger and you're still kind of in that party phase, it can be very difficult. So listen to me when I tell you, cut back by half first and then go gradually from there. And then before you know it, it seems like something that you don't even need to do. And you know, I'm very honest, and I talk to thousands of women about their fibroid journey, and sometimes substance dependency can be one of the things that we go to when we are depressed or anxious or what have you. But it is really, really important that we avoid alcohol as much as possible. I'm telling you, times when I used to drink tequila a lot, I would wake up, my fibroids and my body would be raging with inflammation, like raging. My body was so angry at me. And there's only so many times you can do that to yourself before you start just feeling disgusting about yourself, if I'm being honest. And it's a process. It has a lot to do with mental health, I think, as well. So please take it seriously. Please use whatever therapeutic outlet that is healthy that you need to get you through this. Another tip that I have on this topic, make sure that you go home and you make yourself a nice liver detox tea. You drink tons of water, you replenish your electrolytes, and you flush your body, okay? That's that on that. Okay, so just like that, we are at the end of the list. I just wanna quickly recap the top 5 foods that you should be avoiding. Number 1, meat that is processed with hormones and steroids. Number 2, dairy products with added hormones. Number 3, refined or processed wheat and gluten. Number 4, refined sugar and carbs. And lastly, but certainly not least, alcohol. All of it. So in closing, I do want to leave you guys with this, because I do find that when I do these diet videos, I get a lot of comments about, oh, I can't eat nothing and this, that, and the other. And I've found it to be very, very helpful when I've switched my perspective from thinking about what I can't do or can't eat to what I actually can eat. When you think about what you can eat, then the abundance is clear that there are so many other options out there besides what you have been eating or maybe what you are used to. It's all about a shift in perspective. Think about all the nourishing foods that there are on this earth to replenish and help to assist your body in healing. Leafy greens, whole grains, sprouted grains, organic proteins, and anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric, and so many more. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to go and check out my 5-day meal plan at hotgirlhealthjourney.com and use code GlamPreezy to save yourself some money on it if you decide to purchase it. And by now, if you have not subscribed, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any videos on natural fibroid healing. And if this video was helpful, please do me a favor and thumbs this video up. And make sure that you comment down below. Tell me some of your go-to foods and tips that have helped you manage your fibroids down below. Girl, we love to learn more over here. And while you're here, may I suggest you watch another one of my videos. I made this just for you, so go ahead and check it out. And until next time, guys, it has been such a pleasure to make another top 5 video for you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your fall season. I cannot wait to see you in another one.